Hello students, I hope you all are fit and fine. Today the world is facing the fear of getting infected with COVID-19 pandemic. There is a tense situation around the globe and we all should cooperate with each other to be healthy and safe. This is the time to maintain social distancing. We cannot meet each other, but we cannot stop learning. So students, be at home and study at a regular basis. In connection to this, I am here to teach class 12 students the poem My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das. Kamla Das was born in Malabar, Kerala in the year 1934. She is recognized as one of India's foremost and popular poetess. Her works are known for their originality and versatility. She is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. Mother, as this word is uttered, our heart is filled with love and joy. Mother plays a vital role in a family. A family without mother is incomplete. Aging is the eternal law of nature. Death is inevitable and the only truth about life which cannot be denied. The pain that occurs from the loss of a loved one is felt by everyone alike. In the poem My Mother at 66, poetess Kamla Das comments on the feeling of pain and anguish one feels for the aging parents. The thought of separation and loss is unbearable. The whole poem is in a single sentence punctuated by commas. There is a single thread of thought, that is, pain of loss and separation. There are some observations of the real world around, but they are connected with the main idea. In these lines, the poetess Kamla Das says that she was driving from her parents' home to the Cochin airport last Friday morning, and her mother accompanied her to the airport. During her journey, she saw her 66 years old mother sitting beside her and dozing off. And as she was dozing, gradually her mouth opened. There was no glow on her mother's face. Her face looked pale and faded due to her old age. She compares her mother's face to a corpse. She says that it was grey like ash. It looked lifeless like a corpse. The lifeless and faded face of her mother pained her heart. The old lady seemed to be lost in her own thoughts. The poet was in deep sorrow to see that. She wanted to put her sad feelings away because she couldn't see her mother in such a position as a lifeless object. So, to keep that thought away from her mind for the time being, she turned away her attention from her mother and looked outside. The world outside was full of life and activity. When the poetess looked outside, she saw the trees moving. Here she had used the word sprinting. So the poet here had personified the trees and used the word sprinting with the trees, that while a car was moving, she felt that the young trees were running fast. She also saw the young children coming out of their house. They were elated and delighted. They were full of life. When they were at the airport, they had to undergo a security check. After that, the poetess stood a few yards away from her mother and looked again at her old mother. She was gloomy to look at the colorless, lifeless, and pale face of her mother. Her face looked faded like the late winter's moon, which had lost its shine and strength. This aroused the old familiar ache in the poet's heart. Her childhood fear overpowered her again. However, she controlled herself and pretended to be normal. She scattered a smile on her face while saying goodbye to her mother, as she wished to see her old Amma again. Literary devices used in the poem. First, contrast. The old age of the mother versus the vitality of the young trees and children. Second, personification. The young trees are personified. The poetess has used the word sprinting with the young trees. Young trees sprinting is personification. Simile. The poetess has used two similes to compare her mother's face. First, she says that her face ashen like that of a corpse. And second, as old as she looked as a late winter's moon. Next is repetition. The last line of the poem, and smile and smile and smile. Here the poet has used the word smile repeatedly to emphasize the feeling of hiding her gloominess and fear of separation and loss. Some of the questions based on the poem are: Question 1. Where is the poet going and who is with her? Second, why does the poetess describe the young trees as sprinting? Why has the poet brought in the image of merry children spilling out of their homes? Next, why does the poet feel her old familiar ache and what is her childhood fear? Next, what were the poet's feelings at the airport? How did she hide them? Next, what is the significance of the parting words of the poet and her smile in My Mother at 66? And the last one, describe the poetic devices used by the poetess Kamala Das in the poem My Mother at 66. Okay children, here we end the today's session. Stay safe, stay healthy.